Okay, instead of 3 big stories, we have 4 big stories for today. The first one is the aftermath of the drone strike, where I said there's something, but we don't know what it is. Well, now we know. Here's Anna.
Hello guys, and I have to confess, I love learning more about Russian geography based on the maps of the explosions on their military objects. And today is the day for that, and the day for an urgent update that I so much love. Because there is a huge explosion and fire in Chelyabinsk on their tank factory.
Okay, there really was, and I looked it up. Where's Chelyabinsk? It's a long way from Ukraine. Look at that. That's a long. They're going to have the hard time trying to defend against things where they can, when the Ukrainians can reach that far. There's the boom. You can look that up. You can look up Anna from Ukraine and listen to what she had to say yesterday. Chelyabinsk tractor plant. Well, it was a tractor plant that was a project in the first 5-year plans. The plant was founded in 1933. But then you look up tank. And what you find is that they also create tanks and parts for tanks and things along those lines. Okay, second story. This is just as important. In Kaliningrad, which is that little enclave between Lithuania and Poland, Russia is moving its air defense systems from Kaliningrad to support Ukraine. But think about this. This is where Kaliningrad is. It's this enclave that nobody wanted after World War II. The Lithuanians didn't want it. The Poles didn't want it. So Russia kept it. And so it's part of Russia, but they're moving it from here to here. But if they're moving it from there and they can't defend out here, that's going to be a whole different problem set. So they're moving that air defense artillery. That's showing you that there's a bad sign for the Russians. Okay, next. Storm of the century kills 4, cuts power supply to 2 million in Russia. So it's affecting both Russia and Ukraine. But what's interesting about this is about a week ago, there was a Ukrainian general saying, we want them to be cold and hungry. We're going to keep fighting through the war regardless of what the weather does. And the weather is doing what the weather does. Now, this is General Winter, and it's been credited that General Winter fights on the side of the Russians, particularly when you're talking about like Napoleon or Hitler's invasion of the Soviet Union, because they could withdraw back into the country. See how deep the country is here, like how far they could withdraw back into the country, but that's not what's going on. So General Winter might not be fighting for Russia this time. Okay, last story, and this is important. Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, said Ukraine is another priority. He really said it. You're going to hear it. Listen.
Ukraine is another priority. Of course, we can't allow Vladimir Putin to march through Europe, and we understand the necessity of assisting there. What we've said is that if there is to be additional assistance to Ukraine, which most members of Congress believe is important, we have to also work in changing our own border policy. And so...
Okay, so something's happened with Mike Johnson. He's heard, he's seen the reports, he understands that Ukraine really is important and needs to be supported. So good, I'm glad to see that. They're going to have to work this out about border security and other things. And it's really going to just take compromise between the politicians, but I think we'll get there. Okay, those are my 4 big stories for today. It is November 27th, 2023. Thank you for your time, the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and the coffees, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.